I have been a minimalist for 9 years and I have helped hundreds of people to declutter their homes and simplify their lives. And over that time, I have learned some really good habits for not just simplifying your life, but also for keeping it simple. And let me tell you, it's not all about decluttering. So come with me, I'm going to show you some super easy things that you can start today for a more minimalist life. One of the biggest things I learned very early on about minimalism is that I think of all of the things that come in and out of my home as possessions that I keep with an open hand. And what does that even mean? Well, it means that I have open hands to let go of items once they have used their purpose for me, but it also means that I'm willing to let new items in and process them. And so if you can get this down really, really well early on in your journey, it will make everything that much easier. I think in minimalism, it is so easy to just focus on decluttering and then we shut the doors, there's no more coming in. And that's not real life. You're always going to be constantly changing. So knowing how to process new items when they come in is an integral habit to keeping up with minimalism and not burning out because you feel frustrated that you've locked your doors and no new items can come in. So what does that mean? Here is a physical example. I got given 3 huge bags of clothes for my son Hamish, which was such a blessing. But what I did was I went through, I picked out the clothes that I want him to be able to wear now, some clothes to put away for him to grow into, some of the clothes that I just could not keep because there was just so many wonderful clothes that I can pass on to a friend. And lastly, I went through Hamish's wardrobe and I pulled out everything that didn't fit. Or if I got some new things that he liked more, I pulled those things out and now I can pass those on to somebody else who can use them. This doesn't just apply to clothes. If you get gifted a wonderful kettle that suits your needs, that's the right color, this is the time to use that and let go of the one you already have. If you can get this ebb and flow of this constant coming in and letting go, you will succeed at minimalism in no time. Function always wins. If you can develop the habit of making all of your spaces more functional all of the time and adapting to the changes in your life, you are going to notice the biggest impact from your new simple living journey. So what does that mean? It means having a look at the things that you have and what's not working. If you end up with a pile of junk somewhere, what is that telling you? Are items being homed in the wrong place? Do you have too many items? Do you need to move them? Do they need to live all together so you're not running around your house trying to find them? The benefit of doing this means that you are constantly adapting to the changes to what your needs are, and you've got the right things where you need them. And do not worry, do not be a slave to the Nordic minimalist Pinterest home. If you need to keep stuff out, do it. If you need to change where items are, and if that seems weird to everyone else, who cares? Functionality wins every time. So for me right now, my quandary is that I end up with all of my kids' homeschooling stuff spread out over this kitchen bench because we do most of our schoolwork at the table. So I'm going to turn this into this. This means that all of the things that I need every single day are easy for me to grab. They're right here. They're not spread out all over the house. If someone needs a calculator, we don't have to search the whole house looking for it. And the best thing about it is it can totally change depending on what we need. If the books change, if we get new library books, this can all be swapped out. Do I love having this in my dining room? Look, it probably wouldn't be my first choice, but function wins every time. And I know that this is going to save me so much stress. I'm going to have everything I need right at my fingertips. The next habit is all about visual clutter. So no matter where you fall on the minimalist, maximalist spectrum, helping to reduce your visual clutter will make you feel better, because no matter how much a lover of abundance you are, when it comes to productivity, paring stuff down is super helpful. So what am I talking about? These are mine and my kids' vitamins or medicine, and I absolutely hate how this looks. But at the same time, I also know if I put this away in a cupboard, I will forget to take them. I also will forget to give them to my kids. So finding that balance about exactly what you need out in any given moment and what you can put away and have out of your field of view is a great habit to get into. So maybe this looks for you like just having those daily driver makeup or hygiene items out on your bathroom counter and everything else is gone. And the reason that this works so well is because you just move through your routines with just the things you need. Doesn't mean you need to get rid of your other makeup or spares. Absolutely not. Those things can go away, out of sight, ready for when you need them, but the things that you are using every single day are out. But just like this annoys me, you can always be thinking about how can I have things out to visually remind me without it being overwhelming. So I'm going to change this into this. So this is just a way of me being able to remember my vitamins. I'm going to label them so I know whose is whose. But also, instead of this giant basket of messiness that was sitting out on my bench annoying me, I now have just these. Now I am probably going to get like a little tray or a smaller box just so that I can lift them up if I'm needing to wipe the bench. But as you can see, and little changes like this that just help reduce that visual noise are super helpful. Not only that, if you are like me and I sometimes forget if I've actually taken my medicine or not, this is a great way that I will know if it's gone on that particular day that I have taken it. And although it is a little extra step to set it up each week, I totally think it's worth it because I won't forget to take it, but I will still have all of this clear space. One of the absolute biggest game changers for me was learning how to be a good gatekeeper.
I am the gatekeeper!
So wherever you enter your home is like the gates to your home. And what you want to do is try and keep the stuff that you had never had any intention of keeping outside.
You shall not pass!
How do we do that? There's a couple of things that I do. I always have a donation box going and I keep that in my garage because this is where we predominantly come in and out of our home. I also have an empty plastic basket. It's seen better days, but all I do is I quickly grab all of the stuff out of the car, like not groceries and things like that, but you know, art supplies from wherever we've been, kid junk, the whole shebang. I pull that into this basket and I actually leave it here in the garage until I have time to process it. That way I'm not just bringing all the mess in to my everyday living areas if I do not have time to process it. And then I can just go through, pick out all the dirty socks, make sure they make it to the laundry, put the shoes away, put helmets away, whatever the case may be. Whatever is in this basket gets cleaned out, but nothing enters my home that I don't want to be there. All of the pamphlets that you end up collecting, all of that stuff, you can get rid of it before it actually breaches the doorway. So if you can stop it coming in at all, it is the best possible scenario. Now I know I just told you to have an ebb and flow, but there are certain things that you just know you don't want, so you can say no straight away. That brings me to the point about saying no. So it is totally okay to say no to things. It's okay to say, thank you, but I already have enough clothes, or mum, that's really not my style, but thank you so much for thinking of me. And once you get into the habit of saying these things, it's so much easier to manage the amount you've got coming in and out. And I highly, highly, highly recommend putting a trash can near wherever you come in the door. So if there is a trash can there, receipts, empty cups, whatever it looks like, serviettes, they can all go in the trash before you go inside or as you come in, so that they're not making their way into the rest of your home. So if you can keep it out, it will make your life so much easier.